Here's a short recap from the last episode. After finishing up his mission in Mount Moon, Red was haunted by a Gengar after the whole Clefairy and Clefable debacle. After that, he challenged Misty for this in the Cerulean City gym for the Cascade badge, and after a tough fought battle, he was able to come up with an out-of-box thinking which helped him get the victory. After that, he battled one of his teammates at Team Rocket on the Nugget Bridge. Even though he won the battle, he was soon surrounded by lots of Team Rocket grunts, which put him at a huge risk in revealing his identity of his shadow character. However, before he could be captured by Team Rocket, an unknown trainer and her war turtle saved him by using the mist attack. Now we continue the story where we left off. Red thanked the stranger and her war turtle, saying that if not for them, he would have definitely been captured. The girl tells Red that it's quite alright and she is happy to help a fellow thief. Red is surprised at this remark and asks her why would she think that he is a thief. And the girl, who introduced herself as Leaf, replies that no one who is not a thief would ever wear a mask to hide his identity. Red just smiles underneath his mask as he realizes what she's getting at. However, just then he thinks back to what she said just now, which was a fellow thief. Then he looks at the water turtle and he arrives at a conclusion. He asks her, "Where did you get that water turtle?" Leaf tells him that this was her first Pokemon, which she got from Professor Oak's lab after she stole it. And this ultimately connects all the pieces of the puzzle that Red was looking for. He soon begins to turn up red in anger and asks her why did she stole it. And she tells him that as per the rules of the Pokemon League, she was not eligible to get her first Pokemon as she is not of age yet. Red tells her that she has no idea what her actions have caused for him and his life. Because of her, he was framed as the thief, and he was exiled from Pallet Town and the Kanto region as well. And because of her thievery, he has to wear a mask to hide his identity because he cannot pursue his dream anymore by being himself. He tells Leaf that he will make things right. Since he's already being deframed and exiled because of stealing that Pokemon, why not do it right here and right now? He sends out his Sneasel to capture the water turtle. Although Leaf knows that she's a bit out of league in this one, she's not going down without a fight. And a huge battle ensues between the two. Although Water Turtle is tanky and strong, it is no match for the well-trained and battle-tested Sneasel. Sneasel soon leaps into the air and pins Water Turtle down using Icicle Crash. This gives Red a chance to throw a Pokeball at the Water Turtle, but as soon as it does, the Pokeball misses as Water Turtle morphs into some kind of a jelly. Red does not know what it is, so he scans it using the Pokédex embedded in his mask, and it reveals to be Ditto, the copy Pokemon. Before Red could realize what had happened, the real Water Turtle comes up behind him, and the two Pokemon start to gang up on Sneasel. Despite this, Sneasel is able to hold them off pretty handily because of its superior training and battle experience. However, just then, Red feels a sharp headache as he falls to the ground, and this gives Leaf and Water Turtle a chance to use a mist attack, and once again it is beneficial for them to escape. Red recovers as Sneasel checks on him, and Red tells his Pokemon that he's alright, and this must have been because of the lack of sleep and stress he has been feeling for the last few days. But little does he know, this is once again the doing of the Gengar. Before Red could comprehend what had happened, he receives a call on his Rocket Pokédex. This is from Giovanni. He tells Red that he asks Red where is he now, and Red tells him that he is at the Nugget Bridge. Giovanni tells him that's perfect, as he received some reports that a masked person has assaulted the the Team Rocket base in the civilian city, and most of the grunts are out of commission. So he needs Red to do a job for him. He needs Red to go to the Pokemaniac Bill's house and recruit him for the next rocket mission, as this will be vital. Red tells him that he will get right down to it. Red removes his mask and once again dons the rocket attire. He arrives at Bill's house relatively quickly. Now, none of the trainers want on the way want to battle him because he's wearing the rocket uniform right now, and they are really wary of the evil group. Red knocks at the door a few times, but there is no answer. He's getting really impatient right now, and he yells for Bill to come out before he kicks the door down. The Pokemaniac soon comes out of his house and tells Red that he expected Team Rocket to be a little more courteous, since they are the one asking for his help. And Red tells him that he's done asking for anything. Bill needs to come with him, and that is an order, not an offer. Bill is really put off by this attitude and tells Red that by the looks of it, he appears to be a promising trainer, and asks Red why is he wasting his career working for Team Rocket. Red is absolutely irate at this, and he sends out Scyther right away, not even noticing that he is not donning his mask. So revealing his Pokemon other than Ekans and Coughing would put him at a huge risk. But he does not care at this moment. Bill just smiles and tells Red that this is not going to be as easy as he thinks. And Red tells Bill to get down to it. Either he comes with him right now or Scyther slashes him into 100 pieces. Bill just simply starts laughing. And then, so, to Red's surprise, he starts morphing into something else. Soon, almost as if it was magic, Bill transforms into a Fiero. Red thinks that this is once again the doing of a Ditto, but to his surprise, the Fiero starts to speak and tells Red that this is no illusion. This is a real battle, and since he wanted to recruit Bill into Team Rocket, he has to prove that Team Rocket is worthy to have someone of his caliber. Red asks Scyther if it's okay to battle, and Scyther nods, excited at battling such a strong opponent. The two flying types take it to the air, and although Scyther is at a type disadvantage here, it manages to hold Fiero off pretty well. Bill says that he is impressed by Red's performance, but this will not go on as long as he thinks. He charges in with a drill peck, but to his surprise, Scyther uses a double team to evade the attack and connect with a critical slash attack which sends Fiero down, causing a lot of damage. Before Red could order another attack, the Fiero this time transforms into a Clefairy, and Red is caught off guard by this. Once again the memories of Mount Moon starts to flood his mind, and once again he feels a sharp headache. Before he could order Scyther to attack, the Clefairy uses teleport and warps away, leaving Red once again disappointed and frustrated at his loss. Red calls Giovanni and tells him that Bill managed to escape, and Giovanni tells him it's quite alright, as he didn't really expect Red to capture Bill all by himself. But thanks to the battle Red had with him, they have intel on him, and the next time they will get him. Red then arrives at Cerulean City, where he meets a Rocket Grunt. The Rocket Grunt tells Red that there are new orders from Giovanni. They are to immediately head to Vermilion City and work with Lieutenant Surge, as their next mission is to hijack the SS Annie. Red is a bit tired, but he decides to humor this request, as he has nothing better to do, and staying at Cerulean City means that he has to deal with other rocket missions surrounding the Mount Moon area. So he decides to head to Vermilion City with the Grunt. When he arrives at Vermilion City, he is met with Lieutenant Surge, not only the gym leader of Vermilion City, but also a high-ranking commander in Team Rocket. He looks at the team he has assembled so far and tells him that he is thoroughly disappointed. He then looks at Red and asks him what's his success rate currently. Red tells him that so far he has passed one mission and failed one. and Lieutenant Surge tells that after all the hype that was created regarding the rocket foundation, this is a huge disappointment. Red asks Surge if he can relate to that, considering that despite being such a high-ranking officer in Team Rocket, he has to also be a gym leader to pay his bills. That must mean that Team Rocket is not paying him so well. Or, fairly enough, he does not deserve that kind of money in the first place. This irritates Lieutenant Surge as he charges towards Red and tells him that the only reason Red is alive right now is because they have a mission to complete. But after that, whenever Red disrespects him again, it's a fair game. Red just tells him to get on with the mission, and before they could come to blows, the sound of SSNE interrupts them, and they decide to begin their mission rather than later. Once they get into the ship, Lieutenant Search tells them that they are to retrieve cages with Pokemon in them, which were exported by another team, and they are to bring those cages into Vermilion City so they could be sent to the Rocket Lab and experimented upon. Red is a bit weirded out by this, as he is not a fan of Pokemon cruelty, but seeing he has no choice, he decides to complete the mission. As he's walking around the corridors, he once again senses something behind him, but as soon as he looks back, he sees nothing. He decides to suppress his tension and trauma for a bit, as he realizes that he cannot afford to fail in his mission, as this would result in not only Lieutenant Surge angers, but also Giovanni's. After walking for a while, he stumbles upon one of the cages. He looks inside it, and there are a lot of Magikarps and seals. He realizes that Team Rocket is definitely poaching some water Pokemon this time. For a moment, he decides to break the lock on the cage and free the Pokemon right into the sea. But before he could do that, a Voltorb comes rolling behind him. It stares at Red for a while, and when Red does nothing, it just simply rolls back. Red then thinks to himself that this Voltorb must belong to Surge, as he is an electric type gym leader. So if he wants to free the Pokemon here, he will have to be really cautious, as Surge definitely has eyes all over this ship. After a while, Red dons in his shadow attire as he sneaks around the lab. He notices a rocket grunt outside one of the cages as he is trying to retrieve it. Without warning, Red and Sneasel swoop in and take the grunt out. After that, Sneasel uses a metal claw to break the lock and free the Pokemon. Just then, a Voltorb rolls in, and this time he's followed by Surge. Surge looks at Surge looks at Red, not knowing his true identity. He tells the masked man that there have been reports that he is causing a lot of troubles for Team Rocket, and he is here to put him in his place. Red simply tells him that what makes Surge think that he could beat him in battle, and Surge tells him that he is way out of someone's league who is not courageous enough to reveal his true identity. Red tells him that Lieutenant Surge should not concern himself with finding out his identity, as all he needs to know is he is the reckoning that Team Rocket has coming for a long time. Surge just laughs and sends out his Electabuzz, and a battle ensues between Sneasel and Electabuzz. Although this battle is close, Sneasel appears to have the speed advantage and is able to outmaneuver Electabuzz in straight hand-to-hand combat. However, Electabuzz's Thunderbolt attack proves to be the equalizer, as it nearly paralyzes Sneasel with one single hit. As they continue to battle, this battle goes on back and forth, and for a moment Sneasel is able to gain the upper hand, but before it could react any further, two Voltorbs swarm in from different directions and connect with a thunder wave. Red yells at Surge that this is not fair, and Surge tells him that this is a street fight. There's Everything is fair in love and war, and all-out war. Just then Electabuzz leaps in and connects with a thunder punch on Sneasel, sending it crashing backwards. With his ace gone, Red knows that neither Bellsprout nor Scyther could combat this Electabuzz as this is too strong. Red thinks that he is going to Lieutenant Surge marches forwards to Red and tells him to remove his mask, or he'll have his Pokemon zap him to death. But before they could react, Red's coughing comes out and uses self-destruct, which acts as a huge diversion. And although this destroys a part of the ship and injures all of them greatly, Red is able to escape. As he's swimming underwater and is able to breathe thanks to the mask, he notices the Pokemon that he has freed, and he thinks to himself that this is some sort of a retribution after what happened at Mount Moon, and maybe now he could sleep in peace for a few days. Red washes up near the Diglett Cave, as he knows very well that if he surfaces near Vermilion City, the Rocket Grunts and Surge would definitely find him. So he decides to rest up in the cave for now and challenge Surge for the gym badge the next day. As he's walking around the cave, lots of Diglets start to appear and swarm him. They try to attack him and chase him away, but Red sends out his Bellsprout, thinking it would be a good practice for him. And fairly enough, Bellsprout is able to defeat the Diglett fairly easily and force them to retreat. However, just then, they are confronted by what appears to be the three Diglets all at once. Red scans his Pokédex and finds this to be Dugtrio, the evolution of Diglett. A battle ensues between Dugtrio and Bellsprout. Bellsprout starts off with Razor Leaf, but Dugtrio is able to deflect them by spinning. This puts Red in an awkward position, as he knows that Bellsprout can't really handle Dugtrio in straight up hand-to-hand combat. And this suspicion proves to be true, as Dugtrio uses a bulldoze attack to slam Bellsprout against the cave wall. He then follows up by repeated tackle attacks, which sends Bellsprout flying up and down. Just as Bellsprout is lying, almost knocked out, its determination starts to trigger in, as it forces its evolution into Weeping Bell. Weeping Bell now has the power advantage and is able to take Dugtrio down with a Razor Leaf, and this allows Red to catch the Dugtrio. Red thinks to himself that this will come in handy, as Dugtrio's digging ability will help him escape from awkward situations where Weezing's smokescreen won't do the trick. And in his next gym battle against Lieutenant Surge, Dugtrio will be his ace in the sleeve. Over the next few days, Red stays at the Diglett Cave training with the Diglett and the Dugtrio, and advancing his Pokemon to a new level, strong enough to beat Surge. The next day he arrives at the gym, and Surge tells him that he was expecting him to show up, as he received reports from both Brock and Misty that a certain masked man has been traveling around gym to gym, humiliating the gym leaders. But this will not be the case with him. And just as he said that, a swarm of Voltrob and Magnemites start to surround Red. Red asks Surge what is the meaning of this, and Surge tells him that he never intended to have a fair gym battle against Red. The only job he has to capture Red and reveal his identity. That way he will be in good graces with not only Team Rocket but also the Pokemon League. Red tells Surge that deep down he expected Surge to do something shady like this, and because of that he has a backup plan. Just then a swarm of Diglets burst through the gym floor and take all the Magnemite out. These are the same Diglets from the Diglett Cave, and they soon start to battle the electric type Pokemon in the gym and clear them out. Red tells Surge that he is not the only one with an army, and this absolutely levels the playing field, and now Surge has no choice but to battle him in a straight up gym battle. Surge tells Red that even now he has the advantage, and Red tells him that he would like to see him try. The battle begins with Surge sending out his Electrode and Red sending out Dugtrio, and as you'd expect, this is an easy battle for Dugtrio, as it is able to match Electrode's speed and take it out with a powerful bulldoze attack. The next Pokemon that Surge sends out is Magneton, and Magneton immediately goes for a Magnet Rise as soon as Dugtrio fires off a Mud Bomb. Due to using Magnet Rise, Magneton is able to hover above the gym floor, and this completely neglects Dugtrio's ground ground type moves. Despite this, Surge realizes that Dugtrio's power advantage is too much, and despite Magneton being defensively sound, this battle would not go in his favor. So he takes a page out of Red's book and orders Magneton to use Explosion. The Explosion attack not only takes Magneton but also Dugtrio, thereby eliminating Red's ace right off the bat. The final Pokemon that Surge has in his arsenal is of course Electabuzz, and Red sends out his newly evolved Weepinbell. The two start off with straight up combat, as Weepinbell is able to dodge most of Electabuzz's punches, and the Thunderbolt is not really effective. After Electabuzz dodges one of Weepinbell's Stun Spore attack, it's able to connect with a Fire Punch, causing a lot of damage. But Red tells Weepinbell to hold on and grab Electabuzz's fist. And this works as Weepinbell is able to bind Electabuzz right in its place. Despite firing off multiple Thunderbolts, Weepinbell simply absorbs them. And Red tells Surge that this time he will give him a taste of his own medicine. He orders Weepinbell to use Poison Powder, as Weepinbell bursts out toxic spore all over Electabuzz, poisoning it. The battle for a while, but the poison is starting to take effect on Electabuzz. However, despite this fact, all the power batteries around the gym acts as conductor and fuel Electabuzz's electric type moves. And the battle, after quite a bit of back and forth, the battle ends in a draw. This means that Red still has one Pokemon left in his arsenal, while Surge has all three of his Pokemon knocked out. So Red deserves the gym badge. But Surge tells him that this was all a plan of his, as he had sent a warning signal to all of Team Rocket, and soon they will be arriving, and Red will not have anywhere to escape. Red simply tells Surge that he had anticipated this from the very beginning. As soon as he says that, the ground beneath Surge's feet starts to shake, as he suddenly caught in a sand tomb by the Digletts. Red tells Surge that he also made some calls, but those calls were not to Team Rocket, but to the police force of Vermilion City. And now they have caught Surge red-handed after the SSN incident. And although Team Rocket will not be arriving for a while, the police force are already here. And with that, Red escapes. And this allows the police force to subdue Surge, who previously had prevented capture due to his overwhelming strength. After this debacle, Red returns to Cerulean City as he prepares to head off towards the rock tunnel. But before he could do that, he is confronted by none other than Giovanni. And guys, that's where I will be ending this part. Sorry if it was not as good as you expected it to be, but there was nothing really to do here because the SSNA saga and the Vermilion City saga is quite a bit uneventful because of the lack of rivals and other stuff. But sorry if it was too long, and sorry if I stumbled a lot, but it is what it is. Stay tuned for next part. The next video will be what if Naruto was in Pokemon. In that that will be a really good part, not going to lie. Really excited about that. So I hope you guys are safe. Take it easy and God bless.